Right, it's Sunday, so because it's a dry day, a bit blustery, a bit dry, well-ish, put the solar panels up. So 2 Victron solar panels, can't remember what they are, 215 watt each, so 430 watts of solar, now connected to the Unistrut. What I've done is I've got these bolts which then bolt into the Zebedees on the Unistrut, and we only got the clamps on the end, and these things are, yeah, they're not going anywhere at all. I'm really happy the way these have connected on, and hopefully I'll just about be able to fit the Max Air fan up there just in front for the shower cubicle. So yes, that's where we are then, working out where the solar panel's the gland will go. So I'm going to put it down through there, but I need a decent 25mm hole saw, which I don't have. So for the time being, cable's bundled up, and I'll crack on with it later on. But yeah, well impressed with that, and unfortunately they're now getting lots of sunshine and they're not connected up to anything, but that's life. It will be hopefully shortly. Well, it's a gorgeous spring day today. It's the Saturday and the Easter weekend. We have blue skies, white fluffy clouds striking out the sun. Absolutely lovely compared to a couple of days ago when it was blowing a gale and throwing it down with rain. So the electrical board has been fitted, riv nutted in many places, drawn templates for all of the electrical bits. Inverter's going to have to go sideways because you need the space around the inverter, so hey, never mind. I've seen plenty of people do that. They don't recommend it, but they don't say you shouldn't, and everything else kind of fits on there. To run cables, might need to run this thing here, which is the feed for the 12-volt distribution board. Currently goes down the pillar and pops out in the corner, but it's got to join onto, in fact I might be alright actually, so that's going to be the links distributor. So actually that's not a bad length, actually that's going to fit okay actually. By the time I work out which way it's going to come out of the pillar, I might bring it out around the back. So yeah, really happy with that. The board's kind of being bent into place, but all the screws are holding, so as long as the riv nuts hold, it's going to take a hell of a lot of weight. So I've tried to put in as many bolts, machine screws as I possibly can, and then behind the inverter itself, which is a real heavy bugger, I'm going to put a couple of bracing battens, because actually there's just cavity behind that, so I'll put some bracing battens behind that on the ply to reinforce the ply. So yeah, there we go, happy with that. Let's hope it stays in place. So let's spin around this way. I don't know how many weeks it's been since I've done the last update. Basically I spent a good couple of weekends sorting out this crazy mess. One of the issues has been is I've decided to go 24 volt for efficiency, also powering things like the fridge and other bits and pieces on the van. So as a result, I've ended up with a bit more kit on the board than maybe is normal. But the board is now done, everything's mounted where it should be, everything's pretty much got it's got the gap it's supposed to have. as much as I can get it anyway. And that great big space up there is going to be going where the Multi Plus is going, which is currently sitting over there, a heavy beast. So it's ready to get mounted. So the plan is to bolt it into place there. Just need to thread a few wires through some of the holes on the board to be wired up. So we've got the 240 volt blue cables there, which is going to the hob, which is going to be in the garage area there, sockets there, and then daisy chain over to sockets, which should be under the table there. So now what I've got to do is just bolt this thing onto the wall and hope it doesn't fall off, which won't be fun. So I'll see how we get on. But yeah, everything's ready to go on. So yeah, let's see how it goes. A bit scary, everything's where it should be. Yeah, it looks a bit of a mess, but I'm happy with the layout. That stuff's as efficient as it can be. We'll see how we go. Right, the end of a sit down, relax. End of a busy Sunday. Yesterday mounted up the board. I think I put it on video. Then went out to my brother's 30th wedding anniversary party on the Thames, which was great. So that was the end of that yesterday. So today I've been basically wiring everything up onto the board when it's in place. So batteries are wired, still need to put that heavy bugger on there. But everything's wired up to the links, the Orion, the solars wired up, the consumer units are wired up. I've still got to run the battery to battery cable, but I need to get the van off the drive and get it up in the air a bit so I can get underneath and drop the tank. So at the same time I'll do the fuel line if I can find it. I've bought it, it's somewhere in the garage. So yeah, so very almost there, almost ready for the switch on, which is quite scary really. But yeah, happy with everything. Let's see how it goes. So, a bit of an update. As always, it's the next weekend because that's life. It's a bit of a mess in here, but the electric's now fully in and connected. So I've got some blue lights flashing. So solar's on and charging. I know I've got 12 volt because I've temporarily connected up the 12 volt distribution panel. Not entirely sure where it's going to go yet because of where the cupboards go, but at least I can now turn the fan on, so which is nice. So yeah, so that's now up and running, and that's running off the batteries. So well happy with that. Still got to configure the inverter. Realise I need either a Bluetooth or something to plug into the computer on. Slightly annoying, so you get it sorted out this week. Haven't tested the 240 volt electrics yet, maybe because I haven't got anything plugged into it, or even the wires joined up, so that's all switched off. And the job this weekend, in between rain showers, is going to be run the battery to battery cable going into that baby there. Going to bring it up, don't know, I'm probably going to bring it up probably through one of the bolt holes there for the floor fixings, drill that out and bring it straight up into there, shortest route possible. So I'll move out of the mess, and now got the van up on the drive slightly, and it's going to be a case of the usual, which is we'll go under. So I'm going to do two things at once here. I'm going to drop the fuel tank so I can get the fuel sender on it to so I clip on the extra fuel line on top of the fuel sender. So I've got to drop the tank to get that, and at the same time while the tank's dropped is run the battery to battery cable over the top of the fuel tank, because that's going to have to go under somehow got to clip it, cable tie it along the bottom of the van and then up through that hole and then round to the front, and then at some point take out the front passenger seat so I can get to the battery and run it through under the front passenger seat. So bit of a job today, so I'm hoping to get the outside stuff done first before it starts raining, and then crack on from there. Although I've just realised I can actually run this over the top of the fuel tank in these, got the cavities all the way along, so actually in terms of the battery to battery, so I can put it through there, and there's another one back up there. So really, actually, I don't need to run it over the top of the fuel tank. It is still into the top of the fuel tank, but not properly on top of the fuel tank. So that's going to make my life a bit easier. And then I can see this wiring harness coming up there. So I'm hoping that's going to give me access to where the distribution board is next to the battery. That's going to be the tricky job, to try and work out where that's going to go. So I don't particularly want to try and drop this tray. But yeah, so first thing is let's get this fuel line in, and then that I'm going to run over the top of the heat shield, because the trim is going to be on the far side of the van, and again run it up through one of the holes in the bottom of the van where one of the floor fixings are. So yeah, that's the job this weekend. So yesterday I was running the battery to battery wire, and it's soaking wet outside at the moment, peeing down in the rain all night, so I'm not going to crawl under the van to show the where I've run the trunking, but I will do when it's dried out a bit. But I had this clever idea, rather than drilling more holes in the van, I thought I'd repurpose one of the holes for the fixings for the floor, since it's pretty well held down anyway. I'm not going to be using the lashing rings, so I thought, right, fine, I'll drill out the hole. It needs to be something around about sort of 9mm or so to fit the wire through that goes up to the B2B smart charger. So I think I've gone through just about every high-speed drill bit I've got going, just about managed to get it drilled out, and then eventually filed the damn thing out just to draw the wire through. So for anybody thinking about doing that, get a bloody good sharp drill bit, because these are supposed to be brand new drill bits and they wouldn't busted at all. So yeah, earplugs, safety goggles, the whole shebang, just to run the wire up. I have actually run it to the point under the bonnet, which reminds me, I need to make sure that is off. Yeah, that's fine. But I'll show that another time, just because it's soaking wet and I've fed up with crawling under the van. So yeah, I'll do that. But yeah, so word of warning, if you're going to use one of these holes, which is not a bad idea, just be prepared to take it a long time.